What's up, friend, and welcome back to a new video. I know it's been a minute, but considering the situation that we're all in right now, I don't really have an excuse not to make a video. So I hope you're staying inside, I hope you're staying safe. And in this video, I wanted to show you one of the ways in which I've been making money in this crisis. A lot of photographers have been hit pretty hard by the current situation. They've had their gigs canceled and they're basically without work right now. So in this video, I wanted to show you how I've been making money without having to leave my home. I'm taking you behind the scenes on a photo shoot right here in my house, where I'm shooting for one of my clients, a local coffee roaster called Brandzaak. Now what's great about this client is that since most of their customers are ordering coffee to be delivered at home, and they're consuming the coffee at home and not in cafes, we're looking to create content that evokes that home environment. I'm not looking to make photos of these expensive La Marzocco setups that no one has in their kitchen, but instead I want to keep it relatable, which means shooting in an environment like my kitchen or my office right here is actually going to be much more beneficial to the client, as it's showcasing the product in the environment in which the customers will be consuming it. So let's head downstairs into my kitchen and let's create some photos. All right, welcome to my kitchen. This is literally where the magic happens. All of the stuff that you've seen from Brandzaak has been shot either here or in the roastery. I think so, yeah, with like a couple of exceptions when I went to Canada, but that's another story. What we're shooting today, well, we're about to figure that out. Usually what happens is the deadline approaches, which is at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, which is when they start working. And I need to make sure that people know that they can get their orders in right on time. So that jump starts my brain into thinking like, okay, what kind of stuff can I shoot to get people hyped so they can order stuff right on time? And that usually starts with just some laptop club. So I'll just go onto their website, or usually actually onto Instagram, and I'll have a look at what I've shot before that. So I can kind of figure out what I want to do so that it matches the feed and keeps the consistency going instead of starting to look like a jumbled mess of garbage, which no one likes. Okay, so what I'm seeing here is that I've got a bit of a theme going on where I've got these circular images in the frame. So I've got a Chemex filter, which is kind of shot from the top, which has that circle. I've got to pour into a circular cup, and then below that, a little bit further down, I've got more top hat, circles. So that's something I want to get for this first shot. The stuff I uploaded yesterday was also on the darker side, and I like to have a bit of a checkerboard pattern in the feed. So it's like offset with a light photo, then a dark photo, then a lighter photo, then a darker photo. Keeps that checkerboard pattern. It's a super easy way to keep your feed looking consistent and looking nice. So I need to get a light photo with something circular from the top. So that's the first one we're gonna try and get. If we look over here, basically this is a shelf where I keep all of my coffee equipment. So we've got a Chemex, which I literally actually bought last week because I don't like the Chemex, but I can't deny that it just looks so good in photos, which is literally the only reason why I bought it. But that was literally 2 posts ago. I already had a Chemex in the frame, so I want something a little bit different. I've got 2 AeroPresses. This is the new AeroPress Go that you might have seen making the rounds on the internet. I don't know, I haven't shot with it yet, and I don't know if any customers of Brandzaak have this little jobby anyway, so I'm not sure if I want to shoot with this one yet. These things tend to look best like from their side when you get to see the letters and all that, and since you won't be able to see that all that well when you're shooting from the top, this might not be it actually, so we'll clean that up. I don't think if I have a look at the feed, yeah, last time I shot a French press was at the end of January, so that's well over a month ago. And I'm pretty sure my family got this one after that anyway. So I might just use this one as the subject for this image actually. So I got my coffee, and now we're just gonna brew. So the camera that I'll be using today is the Sony a7 Mark II with the 1635 G Master lens. This is pretty much the setup I use for all of my work. There's probably going to be someone out there saying like, but that's such an expensive lens and it's just the gear that got you that shot. Here's actually a photo that I shot a couple weeks ago, and I shot that with a $20 vintage lens. And that photo is probably one of my favorites I've shot for this client, like from all time. I love the way that vintage lens made the image look and how the autofocus elements have a different kind of character to them. So you don't need expensive gear like this. I mean, I'm shooting on an A7 Mark II, which is like a camera that's like 4 years old, if not more. So it's not just about the gear, but yeah, it does make a difference. So of course I'm going to use it. I'm just using window light as my light source because it's a giant light source. It looks great. If I turn on the overhead light, this just brings out this weird orange tungsten looking color cast onto the image. I'm getting more shadows down here. This looks awful. So just turn those off. They're not worth your time. I also have to take a look at like how the reflection is shaped in the counter, because like I said, I wanted a lighter looking photo, and the further I back away from the counter, the darker it'll get. So I might actually want to get a little bit closer so I can get more light kind of spilling into the image to get that lighter looking feel. This is actually usually how it will look. I'll just be one-handing my camera and then I'll be pouring my coffee or whatever in the other one. So like that. So what I wanted to do for this next photo is get an overhead shot, which I really like the look of, and which is actually pretty cool. Is you remember all those reflections I was talking about and like how the light kind of spills over the countertop? We get a top-down angle that's just gone. It's just a beautiful textured black surface, which looks great in photos. So we're going to build an overhead rig right now. It's not a good overhead rig. Any sane person would probably get something like a C-stand and make something that looks safe and won't drop your camera. This might. We're going to be using this little Manfrotto tripod. It's garbage. It was like 80 bucks and it works. Like I said, this doesn't feel safe at all, but I mean, it'll do the trick. So basically what I'm doing is I'm gonna be extending the camera like this way. I'm using these feet to like push against the furnace, and then I'm gonna literally use a hair tie to basically keep this guy locked in place. Yeah, so literally this is what's holding this entire contraption together. This one hair tie. So we have our overhead rig. Let's see, let's turn this bad boy on. Ooh. Yes, please. This is money. Come check this out. See if you can see what's going on there. Hello. Okay, so now we just need to figure out what we're going to be putting underneath this overhead rig. Let's try something with the AeroPress, because we were talking about it earlier and I haven't uploaded anything with the AeroPress in a while. So give that a try. I mean, it looks pretty cool. I don't think the red will, like the red of the cap will match the feed all that well. So I'm not going to use this one. But fortunately, I also have the classic AeroPress. Yeah, I've got an idea. Maybe I'll just actually brew like a quote-unquote espresso and just have that as a single cup. Like I said, I like simplicity. I think that can look really cool actually, so I'll just do that instead. All right, so if we place that underneath in the center, make sure my watch is in frame as well because there's an extra bit of detail there. Yeah, I like trying some different hand poses, if you will. I feel like that always looks good if you have some variety. That means you just have more options to choose from, because sometimes you won't realize it until you're editing that something can just look really wonky. Yeah, I'm actually pretty satisfied with that. Sometimes simplicity just works, like the top-down angle, you get your nice textured surface, no distracting colors, no weird objects that don't seem to belong. So instead of taking 45 minutes for one photo, we took 5 minutes, which means we can just get on with the real banger, which I'm not sure if it'll work, but if it does, it'll make me very happy. All right, welcome to the office. This is where I spend like 90% of my life. As you can see, we've got the black walls, which is gonna look fantastic. Got the lighting set up because for this final shot that I wanna get, I wanna try something a little bit more elaborate. Remember that photo I talked about earlier with the 28 vintage lens? I kinda wanna try something a little bit similar. So the setup is gonna be, we'll have the lights, and then I'll be standing behind the desk or whatever. And then we'll have the camera on a tripod behind that. And then we're gonna basically take a photo of myself pouring into the Cam-X, and I want to be focused on the pour itself and then have myself and, well, my hair in the background with the black wall. So I need to figure out a solution to get that frame, because my first instinct was to rotate the desk. However, the desk is super heavy, so I'm not sure if I want to do that by myself. Ah, fuck it, we'll just turn the desk around. You didn't see that. For sure.
Really though.
Okay, this is not a great idea. Okay, how's that look?
That already looks much better.
Very professional, right? I've got my coffee pretty much ready to go. Just need to boil some water in a second. So let's start off with the tripod situation. Like I told you guys before, I don't like tripods at all, but in these situations, this is why I don't like tripods. If you thought that overhead rig was not safe, this is far, far worse. So let's give that a try. The whole point of this photo, what I want to see is basically have it focus on the water in the foreground and then have me like doing the entire pour far away in the background. Because of the 16mm, it'll look like I'm far away. And we're finally starting to see that if I just pretend to be pouring right here. We can actually give it a shot because my water just got to temperature. So I'm just going to give this a quick little rinse. Also, I'm using remote operation using the Sony imaging app right now, because that is pretty much the only way to control the camera by myself. I mean, we're getting there. I think the framing is almost perfect. I'm just gonna dump the coffee in. Not gonna lie, I'm like kind of nervous for this shot, because I feel like this is pretty much a one-take wonder. Like we have to get it right on this try. Ready?
Yeah, let's do this.
Let's do it. Okay, this is it.
What's the verdict?
Well, we're about to check. See if these came out okay. Oh, there's at least one contender.
Ooh.
That might be it.
That might be the one.
That might be the one. And there you have it. Those are the 3 images that I wanted to get, and they're already up on the Brandzaak feed. So if you go over to @Brandzaak, you can check them out, show them some love, and if you want to see more coffee content like it from me, give them a follow, because I'm pretty much posting there 3-4 times a week. You should also definitely give my buddy Marco a follow right here. He's an amazing photographer and he's been helping me out with this video. He did all the behind the scenes gimbal work. So thank you for that. Go show the man some love. And with that being said, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope maybe it inspired you or you learned something from it. Maybe you can apply these same principles to your own life, and maybe you can make some money in the meantime without having to leave your home. So that's it for me today. You know what the YouTubers always say you have to do. You don't have to if you don't want to, but hey, it always helps. Stay safe, stay indoors, do your part, and we'll see you hopefully not a year and a half from now, but a little bit sooner. Bye.